All right. All right. All right. And all right. I'm gonna assume I'm live, and if I'm not, don't worry, I'm gonna see if I'm live. Anyway, this shouldn't be too bad. If I go to 30 and I'm not live, then there's okay. This is okay, I guess. And wow, exactly what it meant to be. So here's the reason why I think that angels, aliens, and demons are basically the same thing. And let me tell you why this is. And let me tell you one way or the other by not being as complex as possible. So where did the angels and demons really come from? I mean, there's original sources everywhere. I mean, you didn't really just create heavenly beings just to get reward and not for nothing. Yeah. I mean, guys, there has to be reward for everything, and I mean, originally there were only angels and in heaven as well as animals. But I think originally there were only angels in heaven. And there was heaven and this massive thing called Earth that was messed up. However, after Satan fell, I think there was. I mean, and there had to be. Snap. Oops. I mean, God had to do something about getting reward for heaven for the angels as well. So, I mean, for one thing, I think after the war of technology, they had to keep everything old-fashioned because they could not teleport themselves on Earth, because if they did that, then we would have more problems than answers. And that's the reason why we don't have any. I mean, for one thing, if there was a heaven and hell for demons and angels, then what would the use be if angels could always be in heaven and there would be still some falling for rebellion, you know? I know it doesn't make sense to you, but it does make sense to me. And I think the reason why I had certain dreams of another place is because they really do exist. However, it's more of an alternate universe, a complete alternate universe. There's another Earth just for them, and it's very much the same, except it's a different mindset. I don't know how to explain it to you, but yeah, I mean, there has to be a reward for heaven. And that's what I'm trying to say. Is that they do not automatically win heaven because they earn it. Because originally there were a few billion angels in heaven. Now there's several billion angels in heaven. 100 million in the set of the kingdom of heaven. That is, let's say, in the third room, and billions, like several billion elsewhere. In hell, there's, I would say, I don't know, like 17 billion in hell of demons, of his angels. They still go to heaven just to get permission to do whatever they need to or want to, but it doesn't mean it's right. And God says, I grant you this permission under these circumstances, just like he said in Job. Not Job. Yeah, Job. Because, for one thing, these angels, these demons, have to grant permission from God under these circumstances, because Job is the only answer for that. However, if you're granting the fact that there's also angels and demons, like 33% of them, like a third of them are sent for hell, and a third of them are sent for heaven. I mean, they're still, I believe, in BC times. However, they're also in AD times. So if they accept us and God, then they're golden as much as possible, because there's still a third that they probably just do not accept us as much because they don't want to be our you know what do you call it, our servants, because being a servant is kind of a harsh thing, because they still have to create this heaven for us. And then there's also the warriors and the messengers. The messengers are the extreme. I mean, they're definitely the most prolific, the top priority. They're definitely the top um, of our. These guys are the most willing to be with us. They're the most willing to love us. Those are for us. The warriors of God are the most willing to be with God. And then those that are working in heaven to create heaven, well, they're just they're just servants of God to create heaven. Those are the least of the angels, like the one with the whip and the axe. And that one, I would say, is more like you must create heaven for us. You must create heaven for these people because they depend on you. Those are the carpenters. Those are the least of the beings in heaven. Then there are those that are for us. They're doing practically nothing to build their own strength, but they're really preachers. They're really, strongly for us. So that's one way to describe it. And then there's warriors of God that have the strength of swords. I mean, the one that has a good massive sword that's literally made out of not gold, but pure gold and bronze, the heavy stuff. That's how you can describe Mitchell. And then there was Gabriel, the one that has the eagle eye, the eagle of everything. And then there's, the other one. And you don't know the one that creates heaven. You don't know his name. You don't know the servant's guy's name, because he's not important to us. He will be important to us in heaven, but he will not be important to us now. However, there's that, and then the I would say certain aliens somewhere in the universe, on the other side of this universe somewhere, because there's the universe used to be an ice cavern, but then he made channels one way to go to the other side of heaven. There's, I would say, I know, 4 or 5 sections, and the ones in the ocean are for more of a cool thing type of thing. It's more meant to describe the 3 type of beings that are, let's say the ones in the ocean are for not warriors, but more for, I don't know, like preaching and all that. And then the one on the land is for warriors, and the one in the skies, I would say, it's for the preaching. And then the one that runs for warriors, and the one for in the ocean is for builders. That sounds right. Because, anything can be done for every one of the scripts, However, it does not stand firm that they shall believe not, because if they believe not, then that doesn't make sense, because they always believe. Because we as people are created in God's image, and everything knows that. I mean, even the trees know that. and they're nervous that we not nervous. They know they're going to take us down for wood for the house. But even the beings the farthest away from the earth, not that they're aliens, but they're angels. Even they know that they must serve us and God. We're the kingsmen. We're basically kings. We're basically kings to these beings. And now that I must describe this to you, that they're actual aliens to get rewards in heaven, depending on what they've done. Now, the last one would be, there are two sets. The ones to basically possess humans, those are the worst types. Then those are the ones that destroy us in hell. Those are the least of the worst types. The worst type, the one that literally, the very least of them that possess us, those are the very worst kind of angels to ever meet, because they have an agenda against us. Not that they had it before, it's just they had it then because their mind has been changed. I believe in hell will be the same way, to destroy as many human beings as much as possible, and to also strive for God, because we'll be very angry and very stressed out, and we will want to hurt others, and then we will want to go to God, and we will be the most hypocritical things ever being around on this planet Earth if we go to hell. Too bad we're worse than they are, because a third of them are just, angels in hell that would destroy us, and they hate God. But we want to destroy us in hell and want to be with God. We're the worst hypocrites in hell. But then there are these beings somewhere else that know all this, and they know that they definitely know that they have an agenda to be in heaven, because they don't want to be in a place where there's also pain and there's also problems and where they are, because even if they have a certain feeling, they'll still carry it along into heaven. They want to serve us, however, they still want to keep their own character, their own like if you're from another country, you know what it's like to be in America. It's very different. But imagine just being away from the world, in a place that is all you ever know is feelings for each other, and trying to repopulate the world and trying to be a set for heaven. That's all you want to do, is be a real set for heaven, and then prepare for the worst. These feelings are straight bound for the whole entire life and for the rest of their lives. Because of what Satan did, their feelings are scarred by what Satan did, or what Lucifer did, in his pride. Their feelings are very much scarred, but they can handle it. They know, they actually love it. And so do the angels. Their feelings are not what you think they are, even though they're very beautiful. And what they all describe us to be is, is people without feelings. But they have the most tremendous feelings that you can ever have in their own presence. Even though I'm not going to be with them, doesn't mean that they don't love me. It means they really connect with me and love me to the point of uttermost love that can be possible, because they know that I am connecting with them. And to connect with angels is one thing, but to connect with God is the best thing you can ever do. So to love God's other creation is to love Him. So there may be mysterious creations all over the universe, heaven and in hell. Oh, please. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. So there may be a mysterious place where all that connects to us and to them. However, that place is meant to subside for us and for God, and we're meant to subside for God. So really, I mean, the place of servants, the place of servants being born, is really a place to really not recognize. It's not important to us, but it's really for them to recognize us. They're very much at hand trying to remember that we're really for God, and that they always have their they always strive for God in the deepest way, and they strive for us. I've been us. So one thing is they have their religions on a certain day, maybe the last day of the week. Who knows what that day is? And basically, they always carry their own sense of love in that place as well, even deeper than usual. And then they have their own homes that they always carry their own love for, and their homes are basically, who knows what their homes are, basically in Africa the same way that it is in America. Except in America, it's the homes are basically luxurious, and in Africa, it's more like huts, but they still love what they do. And they can actually, the funny thing about them is they have their own technology. Back in, I don't know, the 1500s, they invented the teleporter thing, and whatever that was, and basically, they can meet any place they want to go to, except they do not want to leave their planet because they had war on that thing. Just remember that. Because they knew that the planet Earth would not end within 100 years from there. Or for less, for that matter, because they knew that Jerusalem hadn't been a nation, and they knew that from 100 years they did not have the technology. But when they had technology, they said, okay, just don't invent anything right now. And then now they say, okay, well, there are certain people we can connect with, but they're very few and far in between. However, there are certain people that are star people. I don't know what they are, but most of them are demon possessed. Others are just something else. And I think I'm part of something else. I don't know, but the way I describe myself is I connect with a deep sense that I should love something, even though I was more inclined to tease things, but no, that I love all of these creations because I like to basically cuddle up with animals. They like to cuddle up with themselves when they're cold. It's because their planet is the same as us. Even though they want to be old-fashioned, they know that with their wisdom and what they have to balance, they know that, they have to keep themselves at check with their old-fashioned techniques. And they used to have the old-fashioned technology of cavemen, but now, cavemen, but Adam and Eve. Now they have the old technology of today and of the 1700s. Now, why is this? Because, well, they do not want to, quote unquote, abuse their own mortem, which means they do not want to go somewhere else that might have their own beings set aside for where decaying matter is no longer the case. Because they've done that before one time, and now they have to basically set themselves up for another set of hope, really, for another set of matter. Basically, they do not want to mess everything up as if the demons wanted to mess everything up, So that's how I see things. But how we can tell that they are real? One thing is, they have to earn a third part of their. They have to go back. They have to go past a third part of them, and earn heaven, and earn heaven in the deepest sense. So there's also a third of them that go for God and for us, and a third of them that go to work to build heaven. Half of them build heaven, and half of them are for God and for us, for warriors and for us. Remember, there's a lot of warriors. Half of them are warriors, and half of them are going to us, trying to preach to us. It may sound weird, but they're the ones that are spying on us and trying to keep an eye on us. And then the demons, there's only 6 of them that are warriors for them. That's how they're defeated. I know it sounds complicated, but that's the facts I know about right now. And Forbes, if you're listening to me right now, I'm sorry that I called you fake. I actually didn't realize what I was doing, and sorry about that. I care for you guys. I really do. Even though I didn't know what I was doing, I just wanted to speak the truth, and I always want to speak the truth. However, you guys are very, very beautiful. You're more than beautiful. More beautiful than I can recommend human beings ever being, because they cannot comprehend to you guys. And God is more beautiful than anything else. And once we're in heaven, we'll be more beautiful than anything else. But you guys are the most beautiful living things that there ever are, okay? All right, I'll be done now, okay? Bye.